So we're back here, and just to show you what we've achieved, next step, the undercarriage, and we're going to leave that as one video. It takes a bit of time to do, but it's well worth taking your time over. So as you can see, we've got some interesting little features on it as well, including these little, I guess they're maintenance steps, so that the engineers could climb up onto the struts and get to the engine compartment. It's a nice little touch there. So we've also got some nice graphics on there showing the where the bungee suspension was located. And so there we go. Let's get on with that then. Pop that to one side and bring on our current build, which doesn't have anything there. Oh, while we're here, we might as well take this bit of tape off, because hopefully, dangerous doing it with a scalpel, obviously. Silly boy, wouldn't recommend it. There we go. Okay. So, well, we actually don't need this particular build at the moment because we're going to work on the undercarriage, so I'll just stick it over here and get the parts that we need. So predominantly we have the plastic parts, but we've also got some sticker parts as well, and you will also need some of the rigging material that you've got left. So hopefully you rebagged it and know where it is, but there we go. And what else do we need? I think that's carbon fibre. There we go. That's what we need. A bit of carbon fibre. We're building the two models at the same time. I think I'm mixing up my carbon fibre. So oh yes, here we go. There we go. There's the other one. So that one's been used. Obviously, it's shorter. So we've got this piece here too. So anyway, the main part of the undercarriage is all one piece. It's P12, which sits here. The parts that we used on the tail, P10 or P8 through to P11, we can actually remove that little mini sheet from the centre, because that's not required, and that can be disposed of. Missed. And then we can just remove our little undercarriage part. So there's a little bit of prep to do with this part before it's installed. There we go. There's some scoring on the part itself. So we've got scoring here that allows this to fold over, and it folds over on itself, and it actually gives us some location points to put the carbon fibre. You can see there. So we'll do that first. So I'll just put a little bit of glue. Oh, actually, prior to doing that, let us do our little trick with the sanding stick. Just take the burr off the inside there, because there are quite a few little holes and cutouts. So just take off any burrs that would hold the two parts, or stop the two parts from completely gluing together effectively. I'm just going the one way, obviously not back and forth, just down there, just using the I'm actually using the rougher side. I shouldn't be. I should be using the more gentle approach. So So those fold over. Also the little steps, they also fold over on one another and should come slightly inboard on the part there. You can see that it comes slightly inboard there, and that helps us also position the carbon fibre when we come to install it. So okay, well, let's add some glue to these pieces that are going to fold over. So I'm putting it on the outer part here because the inner part's got the holes are a little more sophisticated, and I don't want to cover them in glue because we've got various things going through there. So you've got the axle that goes through one of them, and also some of the rigging points as well. So we don't want to block those up. Okay. There we go. So let's just fold those over so that they mirror the other side. So there we go. And then the little steps too. Make sure they sit over each other. There. Marvellous. Okay. Right, next to do is the carbon fibre, and I've got the dimensions noted down here. So, oh no, I didn't note it down. So let's measure it up now. So let's seat. So it's going to go like so. Let's just measure that up. So the rear strut there is 33. Sorry, wrong. 37. And the forward part is 33. So let's cut our 33. Okay, so this 33, we're going to do our little trick of sanding the ends down to a point. And on the other end, because we're actually seating it into a, well, essentially it's a 0.2 mil depth recess, then we don't actually need to take it to a point, but we do need to take some material off, because this is 0.4 mil wide. So if we take it down to sort of half of that, although it's very difficult to get that accurate, but as long as we take some off, there we go. So that's going to sit, and we've got a little footrest has come up. So that's going to go down onto the undercarriage like so. Now that little it's not got it there, but this one seems to be poking in a little bit. So that's the step. So I'm just going to take the end off the step a little bit, just so it's not impeding the placement of the carbon fibre. There we go. So there we go. That goes in place there. Just make sure it's staying clear of the little rigging hole that sits at the top here, which it is. That's fine. So we can glue that in place. But don't forget, it's the unsanded face that we want to add the glue to. So there we go. Make sure we've got equal amount of plastic either side. And you can see how it tucks into that little element there. So let's do the other one too. Just make sure that that bit of plastic there is not impeding the placement of the carbon fibre. Now that seems to be fine. So, once again, unsanded side. So that's into that little hole there and sitting nice and centrally on the strut. So if we do the same with the rear, what did I say, 37 was it? Yeah, 37. Go. So I'm just going to repeat the process here with attaching these. Once again, I think you've probably got the gist of how that works. So I will skip ahead for you to the next stage. Okay, so there we go. I've got the carbon fibre in place on both legs. You might be able to see there that the rigging points are clear. There and there. And the little cutouts are filled at the pointy ends. So that's all good. So what we need to do now is cover the carbon fibre with some stickers, namely S10 through to 13, which are this set of stickers here. Now, working out what goes where, let's go with S10 to start off with. Now, if the light is right, you'll be able to see that on S10 and S13 there is a little cutout at the top there that you can actually remove. So just there, you can actually remove before removing the whole thing, or when you actually remove the whole sticker, sometimes it'll stay. If not, then you just need to pull it out. The same goes for S11, 12 and 13. So 12 and 13, they're up this end here, and S11 it's at the top like on S10. They are holes for the rigging points. So let's just take S10 off. Now this is the shorter of the two, because there are obviously two pairs here, so we're going to go with the shorter leg on the undercarriage. So I'm just going to put the hole that's in the cutout that's in the sticker over the rigging hole, as by way of positioning it. And then stick the sticker down to the leg like so. I'm just going to turn over just to make sure that we've got it centered, and then use the old back of the knife trick to run down the side of the carbon fibre underneath, just to get the sticker down onto the plastic too. There we go. So continue that process with S12. So that now, with you can see the hole has appeared there. On the part you can see that, or you probably can't see, but there's the sticker left on the part of the sticker left on the backing paper there, and we should now be able to do exactly the same process for the rear leg. So once again, turn over, make sure. Oh, I'm getting good at this. Not like I haven't had the practice. So okay, so that's all well stuck down now. So we'll do the other side, and then we'll start shaping up the undercarriage to get it rigged. So stickers on, everything's looking good. So now what we need to do is just flip it over so you've got the printed side uppermost, and then at each of the tops of the legs you just want to bend the plastic just in line with the side, like so, and bend it down. There we go, like that. Same on this side. It's quite malleable, this plastic, so, and it's certainly very tough, so don't worry about cracking or splitting or breaking it. It'll be absolutely fine. There we go. So we've now got the makings of a downwardly turned undercarriage. Now there's a central brace that goes across there as well, which is a plastic part. Let's just grab our plastics, and that is P13, which is this part here. So let's just release that from the sheet. There we go. And this actually has a score down the center of it, so that you can fold it over like so, and then glue the two bits together. You can, if you want, run the knife down that score just to make sure that it's flexible enough. It's quite a long score to do kind of freehand, but it's not too bad once you get that knife in the groove. Obviously don't cut all the way through like I just did there. But then that means it falls together a lot easier, and the glue will take a lot easier as well. You can also, whilst we're here, the little end parts there, you can actually just give them a quick sand. Just to take any burr off. And then just a generous slathering of glue. There we go. And I'm just going to transfer the glue over from that one side to the other, and then I'll let it fall open. There we go, and then we'll just let it dry off so that we can use that contact adhesive property, so that when we put it together it stays together. So we'll just wait for that to dry, and I'll come back and show you how to assemble this onto the undercarriage legs. So giving it a few minutes to dry, so we'll just bring it together. I think probably easiest to keep it flattest to do it on a flat surface. So there we go, that's all together. And then how we assemble it into the struts, the undercarriage struts, is the shorter struts are the forward facing, and that's where the little steps are as well. And the larger portion of the centerpiece is pointing backwards, so that's the trailing edge there. So it needs to go in this way. So you've got a couple of well, you've got a slot there, and the little end there where it's cut down the middle to allow it to flex a bit, and that goes into that slot like so. And the same on the other side as well. So just put that in, there we go. So, and obviously you can glue it into place, and I'll probably, what I'll do, if my CA glue is behaving itself, don't think it is. Once again, this one's getting to the end of its natural life as well. Let's just see if we can get a little more out of it. There we go. So, just going to put a little blob there. Little blob there, and then just leave that to dry, and we'll come back and pop the rigging onto it before installing it onto the fuselage. So I'm going to measure out 40 centimeters of rigging wire to do our undercarriage with. So that was 60, wasn't it? So that is, let's see, just there. So obviously put that in a safe place again, because we'll need that. There's a little bit on the tail that we need it for. Obviously the rest of the rigging is on the aircraft now. But okay, we're going to rig this off the plane. It can be rigged all as one, and we're going to start down at the axle area. So you'll need your threader. Mine's a little bit bent up now, but there are two holes just above the larger. Oh, got a bit of sticker on there. The larger round hole for the axle. There are two little holes on top, and we're going to anchor our rigging to the. You can do it to the forward hole, so the one facing furthest forward. So I'm just going to pop the threader through there, and then we'll just thread a piece through that hole, and with that tail we'll actually just tie a stopper knot, or just a normal standard knot. The hole's tight enough that it won't pull through. There we go. I'm just going to take the tail off that now. There we go. Shift that back into place, and then pull that through. So I'm going to take it up to the opposite top side here. So I'll just pop the threader into the hole and then draw this out. Finding the this board background doesn't help with trying to see small things. So bring that out there, and then I'm going to go across to the opposite side there and pull it down through. So I'm going to go up into the hole, draw that down like so. So that actually loops across the top of the part there, and obviously once this is attached to the fuselage, that'll be locked in place. So I'm going to pull a reasonable amount through. Obviously this is able to distort at the moment, so just be aware of that when you're threading this stuff through. But we can have a play around with that once we've got the rigging through. So we're going to go back through from here down to the two little holes on the other side, and obviously we'll go through the forward hole. Let's just put that through. Then thread once again. Now this is probably the trickiest bit. This is going to then go back through that rearmost hole. So we've actually got to push this from the inside of that rear hole. Got to locate it and then pop it through. There we go. Through. go. And then it's just, it should pull through. It does lock in place there because of the sort of tight nature of how it bends round, but you should be able to pull the thread through so that you can tension up this front part here, and then we're going to take it across to the opposite side here at on the rear stanchion leg, whatever you want to call it. Let's just draw that out a bit. It's getting a bit frayed at the end. And then that loops over the top and goes through like it did at the front end. Like so, there we go. Put a bit of tension in it. And then this now ends up going through the lower portion here, that rear hole that we haven't used yet. So let's just pop the thread through. Result into a little bit of tongue water. It's always that last one, isn't it? There we go. So, got a bit of a tail left, and what we can do, if you tension it up and then really sort of making sure that the whole thing is sitting straight. Now we haven't glued any of this yet, so it can all flex around. That's fine, but as long as we've just got a bit of tension on the wires. If you put too much on, you're going to get things bending around, and you can also obviously sort of shift. I'm doing it sort of to accentuate how it can be manipulated, but obviously you want it sort of sitting in the middle. But as long as both these wires are tensioned, it doesn't matter obviously until you come to install it, and then you just even everything up by eye. So, with the tension on there, we can actually just tie it. Or actually, I'm just going to hold it a while and just add some of the CA glue to the hole, just to hold it there. And once that's dry, I'm actually just going to tie this off. Bring this up a little bit closer. Tie this wire off by looping it back round on itself and tying it onto this this wire here, and then that should hold solid. Obviously, all of this sits behind the wheel, so you don't actually get to see it, but it's sitting on top of the graphic of the elastic, so it sort of gives it a bit of texture too. So in fact, I think that's probably dried off now, so I can actually loop that behind the wire there. And where's my tweezers? Just drag it through on itself. We'll get that tied off now. There we go. Splendid. And then we can, once that's, so if you can see it's a little bit cockeyed at the moment, but we can easily even that up. But we'll just let that dry, and then we'll come and attach this onto our fuselage. So let's bring on the main event, and if you turn over, there's a little graphic at the on the base that shows you where your undercarriage should sit, and obviously that should cover over the lightened area like so. So we're going to add this using the foam to foam glue, and what I'm going to do is firstly make sure we've got this all nicely evened up, because the glue is going to go onto our rigging here, and just add plenty of glue to the underside of this undercarriage part that we have, like so, and then we're going to pop it on to transfer over the glue to the other side. There we go. Make sure there's plenty on there, right down to the edges, and then we'll just pop this off for now and let the glue dry a little bit before putting it back on. And let's just get rid of this little sticker that's stuck onto our wire. There we go. So whilst this is drying, obviously you can do a recheck on the undercarriage to make sure that the whole setup is symmetrical, and then we'll just leave that to dry for a few minutes and we'll bring it all together again. Right, it's had a few minutes. Let's put it all together. Going to get the little ball tool to press down some of these edges, just make sure that's evenly placed. In fact, I might even swap to the back of the knife. There we go, just to press these parts down, get that glue properly working. And at the front too. There we go. So the final step in this process is to just cover up the white of the plastic there, and we've got a rather sophisticated sticker in S S14, as you can see there. Now S14 needs to be put through the rigging under it, and from back to front I find is easiest, although you could try it the other way around. Now obviously this is, once we get it off the backing, it's very sticky. So what I tend to do is apply my special tongue water to the back of it to stop it sticking initially. I won't show you this, but if you can use a little bit of soapy water if you wanted to, but I find a little bit of tongue water does the job equally well. So you'll see with the graphics which way it's supposed to be around. So if you take hold of it and just bend it up a bit so that it slides through, you can get it so far, and then obviously it flops down, hopefully not sticking, and then you can pull it the rest of the way through like so, and then just line it up. Obviously there's one particular graphic that goes across there, which is the little, it's actually a little bar that runs between the two wings. Now we're just representing that with the graphic, but obviously what we want to do is just make sure that this gets positioned properly. We're not going to stick it all the way down. I've just moved it the wrong way there, so just make some adjustment. Oh, looks like it's grabbed a little bit just at the back there, so let's just unstick it a bit. So there we go. What I'm going to do is just leave this here for now and let the fluid evaporate. Sorry, that sounds awful, doesn't it? That's that little sticker again. It's everywhere. Oh, yeah. So all of the graphics line up, so that's good. So we'll let that go off. It takes probably around about half an hour for all of the moisture to evaporate. But as soon as it does, then we're going to press the sticker down onto the fuselage, and it's going to hold the glue's holding the undercarriage on, but it's going to add an extra bit, and obviously it's a decoration as well, so that it looks a little more realistic. So we'll pop that down, and I'll just pause the video for a little while, let that dry off. I'll be back to you as soon as I do that. Nearly there. Right. Let's get pushing this sticker down. Seems like it's going down now. So just going to use the tools to press the sticker down in the areas that it needs pressing down in. I'm going to be a little bit careful here with the rigging. You don't want to snag it or cause it to stretch. But just sort of carefully push down the parts. I think the hardest part is the internal pieces. Just getting the back of the knife in and around there, and we can go in from the sides too, like so, and then so we can always come back to it if we find it's lifting a little bit because it's still a little bit damp. We can always come back to it later. There we go. So whilst we're here, the only other thing is I'm going to put the little sticker over that that keel edge. Those aren't stickers. Oh dear, it's getting late. S30. There we go. And that's got a little line on it that should match up with the panel line there. So it's probably easier if I use the tweezers. There we go. That's a bit wonky. Let's do my dangerous knife lift, and let's see if we can straighten that up a bit. There we go. Good. So we've now got our undercarriage on, and that'll stick it up, and just trying to keep these tidy. And we've still got the little tail there, but I'm just going to leave that on, let the glue properly dry, and we can nip that off when we come to nip off the rest of the rigging once we've got the top wing on. There's no great rush to do that. So excellent. Well, I'm going to stop there, and the next process that we will go through is putting the top hatch on, and obviously building it first.